Okay, 1, 2, 3 action. Yeah, what is up guys? Farhan here with Zah once again, and this is Haikal. How are you, Haikal?
Thanks for having me.
And guys, this is actually Alfie's friend who actually dare him to
the one who do the MT-09.
Yes, he actually dare Alfie to do the bike review first. Then after that,
Alfie went on to the show to do the review. So now I'm here to do the review with you guys.
so complete the dare lah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. We have the Ducati Hypermotard SP, and have to say, Zah, it's the first time I'm seeing this bike.
You never seen this bike before? I mean the Motard kind of bikes. I'm sure you have seen the DRZ.
DRZ, yes lah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's called a scrambler. What?
That is a Motard.
Oh, Motard.
Murtad, you know.
Sorry guys, I confused as a bike reviewer, it's so malu. Okay, so before Haikal actually tells a story about his Ducati Hypermotard, we're gonna give a bit of background about it.
The Ducati Hypermotard was conceived in 2006 to cater to the growing market of motard class of motorcycles, to compete with existing offerings of KTM and Husqvarna. Over the years, Ducati has been giving minor upgrades to its Hypermotard lineup, resulting in a wide range of offerings. Haikal's bike is a 2013 model, the 821 SP. Engine is a 821cc, liquid cooled 4V, Desmodromic 90-degree V-twin with fuel injection and a 6-speed manual transmission. In Singapore, as with any Ducati, the Hypermotard is an uncommon sight on city streets.
Okay, so Haikal, just want to ask you, how long have you had the Ducati Hypermotard? That time, how much did you pay for it?
I've had this bike for about 4 years now, and currently it's in its 7th year. It dies in 2023. Then I got this bike from Carousel, so it was at about 27.5 that time.
27.
Yeah.
27. Wow.
For 6 more years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are owner number.
I'm the 3rd owner for this bike.
Okay.
Have to say 7 years. Still looks brand new.
Yeah, thanks.
You must take care of it every day.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Lawa sah.
Very lawa.
Cantik sah, serious.
Why did you choose the Ducati Hypermotard? Current bike right now.
During NS, right, there was a regular of mine who rode this bike, and ever since then I don't have the passion to ride bikes, but after I got my class 2B, I had eyes on this bike for quite some time. Yeah, because the regular, he was plain looking, but when he rode this bike, he looks damn cool.
Sachok.
Yeah, sachok. Let's say sachok.
Last time, what were you riding? All this while, what other bikes have you rode before?
I rode a Honda Wave before this.
Oh, okay.
So imagine being from a Kapchai to a class 2 bike.
So your class 2A also Honda Wave?
Yes. Yeah. I just tahan all the way until I got my class 2 and save up all the way.
So when you, how to say, since you were from 2B to class 2,
okay.
How you feel on your first ride?
It was scary because the guy from Carousel, right, he told me, okay, I'm going to put in the lowest setting, right, so at least you can get a feel of what's the power like. When I first rode on this, right, and went into the highway, that was the most scariest, but it was a very nice feeling.
So it was a culture shock for you,
Yeah, it was a culture shock for me. Yeah.
Just like you also lah.
Yeah lah, with my NC service bike. Wow, like the acceleration a bit only, it really goes,
Yeah.
But I think the Ducati, it goes even faster.
I think it's more on the talk side. It's very talky.
It's very talky. Okay.
Okay, but by the way, I mean the Ducati, I do not know which generation is this one. Before I came here, I did some reading up on the Hypermotard, So apparently there are so many versions of this.
Yeah.
So I'm confused between the versions and the generations. Maybe you can give a little bit of a background of your
of my bike. Okay, so for Ducati, the Hypermotard lines, right, there's 5 generations. Okay, this is the 3rd gen, which is the 821. First you have your 1100s, then you have your 796, then it's the 821, then you have your 939, and right now in the market, 950.
Okay. So this is the 821cc.
This is a 821cc.
So all of them are basically different design, different specification.
Yeah, by a bit. Usually the horsepower increases a little bit more. Yeah, but looks wise, I think it keeps a bit the same of the DNA of the Ducati Hypermotard.
I see. And you can see Ducati's signature, which is the trellis frame.
Yeah, the trellis frame. The Monsters now doesn't have the trellis frame,
Oh yeah, I saw that also. Yeah, the current generation of Monsters.
To make it lighter or something.
Like shock,
Yeah.
I cannot believe they abandoned tradition.
Yeah, that's right.
How is the performance like for you compared to the other bikes that you've rode previously, or in your own personal opinion?
On like picking up, right? Like I mean not picking up, like starting off from the line, right? It's very jerky. That one is something you need to get used to. But as you change to transition 3, 4, 5, it gets smoother all the way. Like your previous video, the guy riding the monster, right?
Yeah, correct.
I saw that yesterday. He said that it has a lot of power to get you out of the sticky situations, like you said. So that's one thing good about the bike. Yeah.
So basically, pickup is.
Yeah, pickup is there. It's at the end of the
Is
throttle.
it more to mid-range torque or like upon launch?
Upon launch, there's a lot of power. Mid-range also have, but top end I don't think have a lot of.
I see, I
yeah.
see.
Being a class 2 bike, you know, petrol consumption is definitely one thing that is on the high end, high side, right?
Yeah.
So how is the mileage, right, for this bike, and what is the capacity of the tank?
Okay, the tank, I think the full fuel tank is about 16 liters. It lights up at about 12, the fuel indicator, telling you to top up.
Okay.
So usually I ride the bike until the fuel indicator comes up. That's about 190. Then I can stretch it out for about 30 more kms. So it's about 230, 240 around there. I don't try to go way beyond that. I don't want to be stuck in the expressway.
Don't be stranded lah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Ducati Hypermotard's design. I have to say the design is very small.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like on first glance, if you don't know what this is, people will mistake this for a class 2.
Yeah.
It looks like a DRZ 400.
Yes.
And in terms of the design, I think it's really attractive. I love the design.
Thank you.
I love the beak, you know, the front. It's
beak.
like wow, it's like cool, you know.
It's like it shows that it's an adventure bike. But would you classify this as an adventure bike or more to off-road? Off-roader?
I think it's more of a urban city bike.
Oh, urban city bike, I see.
It's not meant for long rides. You have your Hyper Stradas for that. I think it's the Hypermotard line, but it's another version of the Hypermotards. It's your Hyper Strada.
I see.
I think the seat is lower, and there's a windshield in front for you to deflect the wind to your chest.
I see.
Yeah.
So this is more of a city tourer, not really how to say something can bring on the off-road.
No, I think better not to bring off-road.
But actually, you know, the reason why the Hypermotard, the Motard series kind of bikes, back in the 1970s, late 1970s, they have a race. I can't remember the Supermoto race. They combine track racing, hard dirt, and jumping obstacles of motocross into one kind of race. So the bikes are actually made for that. So you have track racing, pavement, tarmac, and you have a dirt, and you have obstacles.
Yeah.
So this is more of a racing bike lah.
Yeah, you can bring it on track, but I'm just riding it in Singapore. Yeah.
I see. So not planning to go on tour or outside the country whatsoever.
I brought this to Melaka once, but that was just a joyride. So not more than the speed limit. That kind of thing,
I see. But how does she handle on the long distance?
Long distance is okay because it's an upright posture. It's just that when you ride fast, right, the wind hits your chest because there's no protection in front.
I see. So it doesn't, it doesn't cut through the wind.
Yeah.
I see.
Like most touring bikes have, or like your sport bikes.
How is your maintenance like?
Okay.
How much do you usually spend for servicing, and has this bike given you any problems?
Because being a Ducati, I think the maintenance, I don't know lah. People always hear Ducati maintenance is on the high side. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, for parts wise, because some parts you can get it at a dealership, which is at Linky, Ducati Singapore. But for you to bring it in yourself, I think it takes quite a long time. And like basically Italian parts are expensive.
So has this bike given you any serious problem regarding the engines or any other of the gadgetry?
Yeah, I had problems with the throttle response. I think late last year. So when I tried to throttle, right, it didn't have that feedback. So it was in safe mode at the point of time. So I was riding to the workshop and he told me that there's something wrong with the throttle. So I just changed something at the throttle area, which I ordered. I think it was about $200.
I think it's same like Andy's Ducati Monster. So he also had a problem with the throttle, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's because of the rain. I don't know. Maybe the other guys could tell us about it.
Maybe Ducati riders out there, if you have the same technical problem regarding the throttle or whatever you know about this bike, just share in the comment section below.
What's your height, by the way? Don't mind asking.
I'm about 170.
170. Then in terms of riding posture, is it suitable for short people like myself, 165, or maybe it's more suitable for tall people?
I've seen some people who are shorter than me ride this bike, and maybe they'll tiptoe at least
I
because
see,
the seat height for this is really tall. It's about 89 from the ground.
Okay. So there's no way for you to like flatten or cut the seat, you know?
Yeah, you can. I mean, like you can do that, but yeah, it's up to preference.
You spoke about short people riding this bike, right?
Okay.
Not trying to discriminate them,
Okay.
but as a short guy, I feel intimidated.
Yeah, you can try to sit on the bike also. I don't really
I
mind.
don't want to sit because it's an offense actually. To mount on a bike because I'm not a sub rider.
Okay.
And I think something you need to get used to it lah.
Yeah. I mean, like what you could do is you could book a test ride at Ducati. Yeah, maybe they have this in the showroom. You know, you can test ride it.
Okay.
Since it's an offense to sit on the bike, right? You
Yeah,
go to the
correct.
shop better. Yeah.
Why
Let it handle
not?
for
One day
you.
we make one special from Ducati, yeah.
Oh, we love to, man. We love to. Is it comfortable for you riding this bike?
Yeah, it is because on Singapore roads you don't speed that much also, right? So yeah.
I see.
The bad side is if it rains, then there's no compartment underneath the seat.
yeah.
It's just a naked bike.
Yeah, naked bike.
Yeah.
And speaking of accessories, Heikel, look at accessories, man. You change your mirrors, change a couple of carbon fiber, your mudguards to carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And then what else? What's this? I'm just curious. Why is it packed this way?
This one.
This is a steering dampener. If I'm not wrong, it's for tank slapper. You know, like
You know, if you see MotoGP, there are some scenes, some motor they will wobble like that. That is they call the tank slapper.
So this is to dampen the.
Just curious, how does it work?
How this work? Let me explain to you.
Okay.
Okay,
This one, this one actually to dampen any sudden jerk, sudden movement. If you move slowly, you not feel the effect. But if you try to tug it, you will feel the effect. It will dampen, so you won't wobble so much.
I see. Okay, then what else? You change the brake fluid reservoir, brake and clutch levers.
Yeah, the rims
got
also. The
sliders.
rims are carbon. Actually, all of these, right? It's been done by the previous owner. So when I got the bike, right, actually it's full carbon, but I changed the cover set to make it, every year I'll do the change. So it doesn't look that boring.
I see.
Yeah.
Then for yourself, you don't make any modifications to it?
No. I don't dare to modify anything.
So the customization from your side is only the cover set only lah.
Yeah. So that's why I change every year to keep it fresh.
So
Yeah.
the previous owner also like you lah, just ride around Singapore.
When I bought this bike, there was only 7,000 on the mileage.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. So it must be his second bike lah.
Yeah, it's his second bike, and his wife doesn't like becoming a pillion on this bike. Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of accessories, right?
Yeah.
How about the accessories for the Hypermotard? Is there like, a huge choice or meh?
There's not so much that you can do about the Hypermotards.
I think if you have to put a box on it, people will kill you.
But you can put it on the Hyperstradas, but it will kill the look of the bike, I think.
Correct. But this one cannot put side box or what lah?
There's a side saddles, if I'm not wrong.
I see. But it's not OEM lah. It's
At Ducati they sell those.
I see. Oh, okay.
But I don't know whether it's compatible with the SP models or the Hyperstradas or the normal Hypermotard.
And Heikel, I have to say the Akrapovic exhaust, how does she sound, bro?
It sounds awesome. I mean, compared to your stock exhaust, right? I mean, like having an aftermarket exhaust, it gathers the attention from the public.
So it's either they will say like this or like this.
Yeah.
Actually,
Too loud.
at one point of time in my life, when I was much younger, actually I just fell in love with the Ducati Hypermotard,
Okay.
Because when I was living in JB several years ago, there was a scene. There was the scene in Malaysia. They are buying KLX 150, making it into a motard, and few other smaller motocross bike. Doing it into motard, I was irritated by that because they actually modified their pipe to make it so irritatingly loud. So annoying, I was like, shit. With my Vespa, I was like, fuck, if I have a Ducati Hypermotard, aku dah belas korang lah.
Makan asap lah, like you always say. Well, they say loud pipe saves life, so I don't know whether that's true or not. Yeah.
Okay, bro, I have a question for you,
Okay.
but I do not know if you are able to answer this question.
Okay.
And Ducati riders out there, if you can help him answer the question, just put inside the comment below, okay?
Yeah.
Alright, I have this question.
Okay.
Right. You mentioned that you bought this bike for 27,000.
Okay.
If you take that 27,000 and convert it into a pile of $50 denomination, how many katis do you think it will be?
It's a reader.
It's a lame joke. It's a lame joke. It's a lame joke. Okay. So Haikal, in your 3 years of ownership, has the bike given you any issues or any issues that is coherent with the bike?
I don't think so. Usually this bike I ride every time once a week, so to get all the fluids running. But I don't really have a problem with this bike.
Okay.
Guys,
Yeah.
that's good.
So your regular maintenance includes
Just the oil change and the oil filter. So that costs about $140 to $150.
how many bottles?
Yeah, it uses about 3 bottles around
Okay,
there.
I see. So where you usually go to service the bike?
I always do at Works Motorsports. Shout out to Works Motorsports, Viraj. And Tim for always taking care of my bike and
So
answering my inquiries.
Okay, how many workshop do you know out there in
Okay.
Singapore that actually can do Ducati?
Other than Ducati,
I mean, yes, other than the Ducati dealership, how many other workshop do you know that can do Ducatis?
Maybe there's around 3 to 4 that are notable. I mean, you can go to any shop. I mean, you can try, but I think it's safe to go to these 3 to 4 shops. Yeah.
Would you say that Ape shop can do this bike also?
There's one Ape shop that can do, yeah. Because when you service a Ducati, right, you have to go there some ECU stuff inside.
I see.
When you do the Desmo.
Alamak.
Yeah, to check for faults and all that. Yeah, but there's one uncle who does that.
Don't mind me asking, is the bike heavy or not?
It's about 191, but I don't think it's heavy. It's light compared to your adventure bikes. I think a Super 4 might be heavier.
Yeah, because it looks light.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that this bike weighs about 194.
Yeah,
That's
around
about 323 katis. One kati is about 600 grams.
I think with every Ducati review we're gonna get, he's gonna come out with all sorts of lame joke with the Ducatis.
Okay, when you bought this bike, does your parents actually say anything or were they against it?
They didn't know. So when I came home with this, right? Then my dad was say, I didn't see your bike. Then I'm like, okay. When the next day when he went to work, right, he saw me going to work also with this bike. Then I'll be like, oh. But then he was okay with it. He was like, thumbs up. But my mom was like, you bought a new bike?
Is she like aware that this bike is a very powerful bike?
Yeah, she's aware because
And she's scared for your danger lah.
yeah, I've never asked her to pillion my bike. Yeah, because I'm afraid myself of pillioning her.
Then who usually pillion?
Usually no one's but my dad will also pillion me. I bought him like around once or twice.
I see. So on the street, right?
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of looks with the Ducati Hypermotard?
At the start, yes. But I think these days there's a lot of bikes coming out right now that maybe overshadows this bike. But I used to get a lot of attention, which I don't like.
Oh, why?
So this is a wrong choice of bike for me. Yeah. I'll be on the road, then like people will be like thumbs up, then I'll also be thumbs up, but then I'll be like cringing, like, you know, I didn't like the attention.
You didn't like the fame, you didn't like
but I like the bike as a
You like the bike?
Yeah.
So Haikal, I know you've been riding it for 3 years.
Okay.
I confirm got a lot of memories with the bike. What's your best one?
My best one was on the first day, getting the ownership for this bike and taking out from the owner's hands, the previous owner.
I see.
Yeah. So I went around Singapore, Gaira, excited. Yeah.
Since this is a class 2 bike,
Yeah.
who are the type of people that you would recommend for this bike?
I think anyone basically, if they want to ride this bike, being short or tall, as long as they have the money, they can afford the maintenance, I think it should be okay.
Do they need deep pockets or not? Own this bike.
To own this bike, I think there's like low down payment schemes and all that, but your installments might be high. For it to break down and all that, I think it's safe to have some money in the bank just for a rainy day.
I see.
Yeah.
Would you say this is a good daily rider?
Yeah, I think so. Because if it's hot also, it's well ventilated.
Oh, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we never talk about that.
Yeah.
Like when you are riding, right, it's hot.
Yeah.
So does it burn your legs? Is it unbearable?
It gets hot, but it's not unbearable.
When you're in a stoplight or what, it's hot lah. But when you're riding, it's okay.
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, it's open.
It's a naked, by the way.
It's a naked
setup lah.
So at least the wind can still ventilate.
For the riders that plan to buy a bike, right, just go with what you like. Yeah, I think that's a good advice from me.
We always advise this.
Yeah, because at least if people tell you to buy a bike and you don't like, you will always ponder about that. But if you buy a bike that you like, you'll always feel happy.
Yes, correct. And our videos actually will help you make that decision.
So 3 years left. What you plan to do with this bike for 3 years?
I don't know. I'm gonna use it all the way. But if there's a buyer that wants to buy it, the next time, I mean, if I renew the COE, then I'll just hand it over. Someone who appreciates the bike. Yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Not planning to renew it or whatsoever.
No. Because bikes these days always get better and better. Yeah.
Correct. No, like last ride to KL or something.
We'll see if the borders open.
I hope so lah.
Yeah.
3 years is a long time. What?
Yeah.
Haikal, thank you so much once again.
Thanks for having
coming
me
out
on your channel.
to share your Ducati Hypermotard with us.
Yeah.
And any riders want to review the bike with us, do get in touch with us through our social media pages.
Ducati riders out there, if you have anything else to comment or any knowledge you can share about this bike or any other bikes that you have owned before, put them in the comment section below. Like and share this video with your riding kakis, and don't forget to subscribe.
And yeah, that's it for the vlog, and we will see you next one.